All right. Moving on to this other interesting topic, which I thought was pretty much inevitable, but it looks like the woman who sued the game is not giving up, and she is going after any and all assets that the rapper The Game has because she had won a civil judgment some time ago. And in a brand new article on allhiphop.com, it says The Game may lose house over $7 million court loss to Priscilla Rainey. That's the girl that won the lawsuit.
My 24-year-old daughter, when she was in the car seat, I had an accident on my way going to be a member on Family Feud. I subsequently never responded to any of the mail, and I ended up getting a notice, what they call it, when you
Default judgment?
Default judgment, you're guilty, and at one point, I had to pay $20,000 cash just to get my driver's license. Yeah, and so I'll say this to anybody listening. If you have legal matters in the civil realm, it would do you justice unless you're just saying, go ahead and serve me, fuck me over. It'll do you good to at least respond, react, and try to give yourself some type of fighting chance in the court system.
And that's where Suge Knight messed up, right? Because he didn't show up to a court date and it was a default judgment, right?
That's definitely what's going to happen. If you have civil matters and you end up not responding or giving it no attention, you're eventually you're going to lose the case by default. There's no other way around it.
But as far as the game, shit's gonna eat regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it was today or 3 years from now, like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to speculate on what she may or may not have to do at this point to get them funds, but I think he's been trying to be real creative with his finances through the years. I don't know if that's like catching up with him or what.
Look, in this article, it says that Priscilla Rainey somehow served Whack 100 in an effort to seizing the rapper's property. So is Whack still a part of Game's, I guess, financial infrastructure?
And that's always been my theory why he still deal with Whack, because he hide money for him or something, or you know what I'm saying? They got some dealings to where he trusts him enough that, you know what I'm saying, with some funds.
That's a popular theory amongst people who you would expect to know better.
Yeah, because I know, like, even if I sue somebody that ain't got as much, but when they get it and I put a lien on whatever they got, that's mine. As soon as you get it, you know what I'm saying? You could only hide for so long, but that was, like you said, a popular theory and my theory with the game and the Whack thing. You know what I'm saying?
This article says a process server sent a notice of levy, writ of execution, to the Game and Whack 100 on Rainey's behalf. Rainey targeted the house in Calabasas. Might have some new landlords in Game's house soon if she's successful.
And I'm suspicious if that's the case and she knows right where to go. I bet you there's some Clubhouse content somewhere where Whack was saying, "Oh, that's my name. They can't do nothing." I bet you.
Whack say a lot. Oh yeah, that's under a corporation. That's what that's what he say often. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you could put your property in the name of an estate, which makes it more difficult to take or seize. But you know, how many rappers are figuring all that out?
Unless you got a good advisor.
And I always thought that you could. And I did this once. You could file bankruptcy to get out of your civil debts if you lose in court. But I'm sure there's some exceptions to that.
I think there may be some arrogance in Game position because how the fuck can you hold me civilly reliable for doing such a thing? And I'm not no criminal behind it. So if I haven't, these are some cold charges to probably even have to be facing for what she claims he did. And when you dealing with these type of things with females and they grown, he might be getting really finessed, bro. Ain't no telling, bro. And I don't want to put that on her. But for him just to be that arrogant not to respond, who knows if he wasn't invited to make that move and it was like, I gotcha. And it was an invite that you can't prove, though.
Well, you have to fight that in court.
Yeah, he probably don't know. Yeah, it's crazy.
And he decided not to show up, right?
Yeah, that was the part that bit him. Yeah, definitely.
I stand on what I said from the last Straight Politicking. I ain't too gangster to sue. Now, shit. I stand on mine.
Yeah, and we briefly talked about whether or not that falls in the realm of telling.
Yeah, they just go out to run a room on me on Clubhouse because I'm suing.
Let me read a couple more paragraphs here. Rainey, a contestant on the Game's VH1 reality show She's Got Game, sued him in 2015. Dang, it's been almost a decade. The jury awarded her roughly $7 million in 2016, and the Game claimed he would never pay the debt. So that's the arrogance you're talking about. Don't be fooled by these accusations or the dollar amount in the headlines, because I put them on my favorite auntie's poodle. This broad ain't getting ish, he wrote on Instagram in 2016. Every girl on that show will tell you I never touched this chick or ever desired to be anywhere near her. Why didn't he just come to court and tell the judge that?
Now it's time to debate that in court, definitely.
I bet you he was advised by his then manager, and they had came together with a plan that they was going to do that because people think they could beat the system, and now almost a decade later it caught up. I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. But I'm just the gangbanger with the tattoos. I don't know.
She got kicked off the show, and as a result, she filed this lame lawsuit, according to Game, which is probably her intentions before the show was even started. Now, that's kind of going into your theory a little bit. There was a whole...
It wouldn't be the first person that got targeted by a female because there was potential to capitalize and be, not telling the truth. It wouldn't be the first time.
He claimed she was begging for my attention the entire time we shot the show and was given the ultimate Major League Baseball curveball so that she upset her, made her lil wee hard, so she did what all chicks like her do when life gives them no other options, they sue you. So, hey, you have to go to court and defend it whenever somebody slaps you with...
Most definitely.
Hey, see, but to what Spider said, a female I used to deal with, she told me that she been approached and they was trying to put together a little plan to do some sexual, like somebody came on to her that had, like, you know what I'm saying, some clout and some money, and she like, you know what I'm saying, somebody that's within this camp and that's gonna put together, and she declined, like, nah, I ain't about to do that, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, if we interview her one day, she could say it herself, but she told me, like, they be trying to put together like you staging a car accident or something, trying to get some insurance money type shit going on.
And this article says that Game appealed of requesting for a new trial. I guess he realized, okay, I better take this to trial. And he was denied a new trial.
Yeah, you have to have a real reason as to why you were in default.
Yeah, an appeals court rejected the Game's request for a new trial. Rainey sued him again over his refusal to pay the $7 million judgment, and she won a second lawsuit in 2023.
Damn. So what?
So you, as a college graduate, business owner, you're an expert in legal jargon. What does that mean to you? As when you take Game out of it, any individual that finds himself in that position, what would you consider their options?
I was in a position like this once. I had a landlord that wanted me to pay. I signed a 10-year lease for a Quiznos sandwich shop that I purchased. I was out of it and within 1 year. This owner of the strip mall sued me for 10 years of rent. My rent was $4,200 a month. So this was hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So eventually, and I was being sued for all kind of things at this time because there was just the recession kicked in. We weren't able to pay our bills. We weren't able to pay mortgages. Everybody wants their money. So what do? They sue you in court. So I'm being sued by people left and right. And my solution was bankruptcy. I had over $1 million in debt. I knew I'm not paying this landlord 9 more years of rent. Even the judge said, "Did you get a new tenant?" Yeah, I did, Your Honor. So you want Alex Alonso to pay you rent even though you replaced the tenant and you're getting rent regardless. So we came to immediate, some sort of compromise. But
wait, you still were on the hook for some portion of the rent?
Very small amount.
Monthly or just paid and get over with?
Well, it didn't matter to me because I was filing bankruptcy.
Okay.
But I was so glad the judge said that because I really thought, damn, even though I signed the lease, 10-year lease, the judge was like, no, he's not obligated to pay you 10 years of rent when you got a new tenant. So you got a new tenant and you're getting rent and you want me to pay more rent. So I was able to get out of that. But to answer your question, my solution at that time was to file bankruptcy. And
Is that an option that he has now currently?
I don't know about this situation because this was a sexual lawsuit. This was not like there's different types of civil cases. I had a civil case which was financial debt. You know, I signed a contract. It was a contractual dispute.
Not based on you doing anything punitive to anyone.
Correct. You know, my civil experience is just having a contract and we're disagreeing now. Therefore, you owe us money. This is a little different. This is a sexual assault civil case. So I don't know if bankruptcy was even on the table.
How does a female gain so much traction on the civil side if she doesn't pursue the criminal side?
Hey, that's
I guess the default once again.
I believe that's a weakness in our system because we go back to OJ Simpson. Bro was found not guilty by a jury of his peers for double murder, but I can sue him in civil lawsuit and find him liable to pay me $30 million.
That doesn't seem fair at all.
I feel like if you beat the hardest part to do is to beat the criminal case. If you beat the criminal case, you should be free of everything. But our system allows you to still be sued civilly.
But that's why Bill was let go early because it was within his deal that if he admit to certain things on the civil side, they wouldn't be able to charge him in the criminal court, and they did it anyway.
Well, you know what happened in Bill Cosby's case is they got a new prosecutor. So the new prosecutor did not honor the previous prosecutor's agreement, which was, Bill, we want you to tell us everything in this deposition, and we agree not to prosecute you based on anything you say.
Right.
Then they get a new prosecutor, and that prosecutor was like, F that agreement, I'm suing him. And he was able to get out because the new prosecutor was supposed to respect
the deal,
the previous agreement. Right. Yeah. So, but yes, our civil system and our criminal system are two separate systems.
So you know? do that weaken the civil case because you're not going for a criminal.
I don't think so. To answer Spider's question, I think the civil courts don't care what happened in criminal courts.
Apparently not.
You know,
okay, I'm just making clear because I've been trying. I'll sue, but I'm not with the criminal thing. You know what I'm saying?
But I could tell you this. I've been in a lot of criminal cases where the civil lawyers be in the audience watching to see what happens. Yeah, they waiting. Like the Oscar Grant trial. Remember Oscar Grant who got shot in the back on the Fruitvale platform in Oakland? All the civil lawyers in that case were in the criminal case in the courtroom. So even though they're two separate systems, those civil lawyers are still seeing what goes on. They're hoping.
So one does set precedent in the next if
a cop is found guilty as he was in killing Oscar Grant,
they know the city is on
that you already know that the civil case is coming hard. But even if the cop was found not guilty, you can still file a lawsuit civilly, you know, and get some money.
Rest in peace, Ryan Twyman, bro.
There you go.
No,
perfect example.
They killed the homie in cold blood, aired the car out with 30-something shots, and the police at 30 days, bro.
Well, look.
But his family won, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But that don't bring their son back, brother back.
They were never even going to charge that cop. So they filed civilly, got some money. Jackie Lacey felt like there was not enough there to charge the shooter, the deputy. And then Gascon comes in, and Gascon charges the shooter, 3-4 years later.
30 days.
And
you might as well not even charge them. 30 days?
Yeah. I got a homie from Track New, got shot up by the police and all that. And nigga, they dropped his charges and made the deal, though. He signed some paper that he can't sue, bro. And he did it. He was so desperate and anxious and eager. They dropped the charges and all that.
Hold on. I missed it. What kind of charges was he?
It was like a high-speed, he was on a chase, whatever. Mm-hmm. They shot into his car, shot his leg. The charges ended up getting dropped subsequently, but throughout the process, he signed some paperwork that he can't sue.
Damn, I wonder how, man, I would have waited. I don't know the circumstances.
Me either.
You know, I mean, I probably would have did my little time and came home to some money. I don't know how much time he was facing though.
I think it was pretty serious. I think they was
probably on his third strike or something.
Out. He's kind of young, but I think the whole thing was he's allegedly shooting it out with the police. And I don't know if they didn't find no gun, but it was kind of tricky. He had to weigh his options. He signed it and I'm out of there.
Yeah, if I would have known more, because I don't know. I probably would have got comfortable and did my time and came on to some bread.
Hey, you remember many years ago when the internet was new, one of the first shootings that I remember ever seeing on the internet was a Crip dude in Compton taunting the deputies
On the porch.
on the porch. And he kept taunting, and then eventually they shot him.
Yeah.
One of the first shootings I've seen on
That
the
shit
internet.
was HD crispy.
Yeah.
Clear, too. I remember that shit.
I forget what set he was from.
Did he pass
Banged
away?
it, too.
Like Palmer Block? Or
Whatever it was, he banged it while he was on the porch.
yeah.
Mhm, I remember that shit.
Shout out to 2Cs.
But
Yeah.
hey, I think there's a good chance that Game has to get in court, get some good lawyers, and try to figure out how to fight this chick, Miss Rainey, off, because this is all legal, what she's doing.
I mean, a decade in default, I think the best he can do is try to mitigate. I don't think they're going to reverse any decisions.
I think he needs to dig deep in his pocket and give her a bag and have her sign off and
There you go.
end it. I don't know what a amount would make her satisfied, but I would argue, look, ma'am, I've been dodging you for a decade. Here's $1 million. Let's end it.
Nah, if I was her, a million,
She's trying to get $7 million.
right? But I don't-
In 10 years, she's got $0 million.
But I don't think you can't even buy a house in California. $1 million ain't nothing.
Hey, if you were owed $7 million by someone who's been dodging you for 10 years,
Give me half. Give me half.
3.5 million.
Yeah, give me 3.5.
Okay.
$1 million. Do you not rich with $1 million, bro? That's not a lot of money.
Spider, what do you think's a good amount to Game to give to this girl to end this case, considering she's gotten $0 in a decade?
I'm just going to take it from the practical sense. $1 million makes sense.
That would be my first offer.
If it's going to be cash over right now in my account, sign off. Yeah. Man,
But then I'll buy a house in Inglewood and I'll be back to normal. Like
Well, that's if you-
won't-
but-
you know what I'm saying?
But,
No,
look,
but
you're
you're-
trying to equate an alleged getting your punani touched to being able to rest your whole life on it. Who says it's supposed to be worth that much?
No, but let's go back to Munchie's example. You buy a house in Inglewood, now you're broke.
You ain't got nothing.
But in 6 months, your $1 million house is now worth $1,100,000. In 2 years, your $1 million house is now worth
I
$1,300,000.
need 3.5.
And in 5 years, your $1 million house is now worth $1.5 million. So your house is constantly growing equity. You got $500,000 in the bank
Give me your catalog.
in 5 years.
Usually people don't use their whole chunk to purchase the house.
Yeah, and you don't even got to spend the whole million on. You can put $500,000 on that house, pay the $500,000 off over the next 20 years, keep $500,000 in the bank, and your house is
Do
still
your album
growing.
and all that.
Yeah.
If it was the 90s, I would have took the million.
Yeah.
That's not the 90s. I need the 3.5.
A bird in the hand is always better than, you feel me?
I don't get it. What happened? That's one of them old sayings, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
bird in the head. Go ahead and finish it. Alex B, 2 in the bush.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not good
Yeah, I
with
didn't want to
sayings.
mess it up. But it means like when you got it in your hand, that's better than what you might can get later on a maybe.
Yeah, because she's getting absolutely nothing right now, and I didn't know this case goes all the way back to 2015. So it's almost 10 years, and
Yeah,
you've
so
got
what do you
nothing.
hold on for, bro? What guarantee do you ever have to touching anything?
See, I thought that was the reason why Game don't drop as much, because he didn't want money going towards her once he, you know what I'm saying?
Well, she's aggressive with this. She's not giving it up. She wants something, and she's not going away at all.
That's a situation I would hate to be in. I know that much.
Yeah.
God,
I would have got her out the way already. If me being Game,
definitely.
I would have got her out the way already. I got to get this headache. You know what I'm saying? Because you wake up thinking about that shit every day, whether you trying to act all nonchalant or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd be stressing out if someone owed me $7 million and I've gotten nothing.
No. I'm talking about being in the game. Is you stressed out? 'Cause this hanging over your head.
Well, if he's got the level of arrogance that Spider's talking about, he's probably not thinking anything could happen to him, because it's just a civil case, and he's been able to dodge it for 9 years, going on 10. But shoot, I guess he's not familiar with levies and liens, and she's coming for something. She's gonna get something. I doubt she's ever gonna see $7 million. Though. Look, the Goldmans went after OJ Simpson for. That murder happened in 94. I think he lost in civil court in 96 or 97. They were awarded $33 million around 97. So now we're 20-something years later. Now, OJ Simpson just passed, but in this 25 years, he has done everything he can do to dodge paying that $33 million. And the only thing that the Goldmans were ever able to do was to seize his book. He wrote that book, If I Did It. Mm-hmm. The Goldmans went after that book. They own the book now, and they get the money from that book. But I don't think...
that book ain't really generating.
Yeah, that book ain't generating millions of dollars.
Right.
So you think of OJ Simpson, he was able to avoid paying $30 million for 25 years. And he moved. This is what he did. He understood, he got good advice. He understood that my house is vulnerable in California. So what did he do? He bought a house in Florida. The Florida house is protected. You can't go after a house in Florida like you can in California.
And I'm pretty sure that motherfucker was not registered Orenthal.
And plus, he was getting also his NFL pension I thought it was $30 a month.
Oh, you might.
His pension was also protected. You cannot go after someone's NFL pension. So he had his house protected. He had his pension protected. What else did he need to do? He dodged that for the rest of his life. $33 million. Game